Two rookies showed they ass a little bit more than every other rookie this year. And y'all know who the two rookies are. And if you don't know, now you know, nigga. Because you see them right there. You got Luka Skywalker, Luka Doncic on his Don shit. And you got Trey Young, a.k.a. Baby Chef. Little magician in his own right. These players, and surprisingly, this rookie comparison is even better than the one I did last year. You got the D. Mitch and the Ben Simmons. Personally, I thought D. Mitch took that, but that is beyond the point of this video. But this year, you have two rookies who even elevated it to another level. Though they're on whack teams, not winning, it's safe to say that they've captivated fans, and they did they shit statistically and on film enough to be like, okay, they might be a threat in the future. Luka Doncic, Trey Young, Rookie of the Year, who you got, as well as best player. That's what we're getting at today. We're going to do an eye test. The first mismatch eye test where Trey Young's the point guard, Luka's more point forward. So different positions. So we're going to try to compare them the best way we can. And we have two rookies as you can see. So we're going to do the eye test not only, but we're going to ask who's the Rookie of the Year this year. So without further ado, let's break down all the categories we could get at. First category, finishing, attacking at the rim. Luka's a big boy, 19 years old, but he's about 6'7", 6'8", 230, 240 maybe. Trey Young's a little boy, so he can't use his body to attack the rim. His finishing at the rim, it entails less contact. Both of them have great floaters to finish. That's one thing I noticed off the bat with Luka. If you stop his drive, he will give you a floater, as well as Trey Young, because he's so small. He's veering away from that contact. So they both finish at the rim well. For me, Luka's just a bigger body that can accept contact, that can possibly bang on you, that can get there easily through using shielding and using his body. So Luka finishing at the rim, pretty easy. Though Trey Young's floater is immaculate, as you'll see in this video. Shooting. Luka can shoot. Decent shooter. Has a range, has a deep ball, not fearful to pull up from 28-30. But Trey Young, again, I call him Baby Chef because he's one of those players who predicates his game around shooting. Whereas Luka has a more all-around dominant type game. Luka has a post game. Luka has an isolation game. Luka, you can just give him the ball at a certain area and tell him to go to work. Whereas Trey Young, his game is more predicated on the pick and roll. His success comes off the pick and roll, whether you lag and I can pull up, or you don't lag and I can get by you and create for another, or get that nice little floater I got off. So the three ball, I will have to go with Trey Young, but overall, offensively, I will have to go to Luka because the things I just mentioned. Trey Young doesn't have a post game. And in his career, he probably won't ever have one. It's too small. Trey Young, isolation game, he doesn't really utilize that. I'm not saying he can't use it. It's just not a main staple of his game right now, being this young. So, offensively, as far as individually offensively, I will have Luka. Passing. Now, you both seen these players throw dimes. You both seen them be flashy. You both seen them use the pick and roll to create for others. And you both seen them create very well. High IQ players, so passing would be one of the things that come with that. I got Trey Young slightly just because I think he's more of a natural creator than Luka. And I'm only saying that because watching the Hawks, he's more pass first than people give him credit for. He's always looking to distribute. Luka is as well, but I figure he's more of the all-around offensive threat to where passing might be secondary. Whereas for Young, I think it might be primary in this new NBA. So passing, I got Trey Young by a hair. They both pass great. Rebounding. Trey Young too small, baby. I could probably get a rebound in his vicinity. Luka's a big body, big boy. and he is down there a lot banging with the big boys. So he's more likely to get a rebound. So rebounding, that was one of the more obvious answers. It's Luka, as well as post game, if I didn't mention that. Defense, this is another obvious category. Trey Young give up buckets. Trey Young concedes buckets easily. Luka has pride to where he plays D, and he has that winner's mentality. This is really eye test. A lot of people stuff stats, but when the moment matters and when you can see you need to bring out a different level of intensity, some people shrink, some people don't. None of these players shrink. But for me, Luka is the ultimate killer, the ultimate winner. Just by how he plays, he always wants to win. He never feels like he's out of it. So that would translate to being a better defender. Has the pride. Oh, nice. Nice cross. Not as quick as Trae Young on defense, but a bigger body. And I think he places more emphasis on it. Has quick hands. And their IQs are so great. To me, it will only be about emphasis, whether or not you want to do it. And I think Luka does want to do that at this stage of his career more than Trae Young. So defense, I got Luka. Ball handling. Luka's an excellent ball handler, especially off the pick and roll, creating for himself left and right. They utilize both, as you can see right here. Missed the layup, smoked it. But Trae Young, to me, is a better ball handler. I just like the way it looked aesthetically, honestly. He maybe not even be as effective as Luka when it comes to handling the ball, but his moves and what he can revert to as far as the in and out, the step back, I think it's just a little more sound than Luka in the realm of ball handling. Luka can do that too, and Luka can create for his own. He usually resorts to the step back, but they both have excellent ball handling. Trae Young's just lower to the earth, lower center of gravity, more likely to have a quicker handle. And to me, he does. So handling, I got Trae Young. Clutch. Now, this is a tough one. The first half of this season, Luka was on some major clutch shit. Gaming niggas, step back on ESPN every other day because he had a clutch situation. And Dallas looked for him since the beginning. They knew from training camp this was going to be our guy. Trae Young, it took a little while. Not saying he wasn't balling earlier, but John Collins had a good season. Taurean Prince started off pretty hot. Players other than him were looked at maybe primarily over him while he was just getting his feet beneath his wings. Later, he became that clutch man. Nice, nice. See the spin? That's why I have him in handles. Just look a little bit better. Look a little bit more fluid than Luka. But clutch is very close. I will have Luka just because he has more in his toolbox to go to as far as the post game, the isolation game, or the pick and roll game. Whereas you know Trae Young is finna come get that pick and work, which is not a bad thing, but it presents limitations. A lot of the times you're not going to tell him just ISO. If you tell him that, he might just pull up from 38, try to seal the deal, which he did this year. So I wouldn't be mad if you had Trae Young clutch because he was very clutch this year as well. But for me, I got Luka just because you might be on the island with him, you might be in the post, or you might have to deal with that pick and roll where he's creating a play as well. So clutch, I got Luka. I think they're both killers in their own right. Overall, I got Luka for the reasons I mentioned. Bigger body. There comes limitations with being as small as a Trae Young. You can't guard somebody 6'4". You can't guard a Dwayne Wade. You can't line up against a James Harden. And it's not his fault. Nice with the sham guy. You could blame Mother Nature for that. But, hey, I didn't make the rules. So, I got Luka for those reasons of just being able to utilize that bigger body. Being just as skilled, maybe slightly less skilled. 3-ball there too as well. Maybe slightly less skilled than a Trae Young, but more of a physical presence than Trae Young, with not that much less of skill. So overall, I got Luka being a better player in the future. This year, it was very close as to who had a better year. Luka came out guns blazing. Trae Young finished guns blazing. So it all depends on which half of year you like more. Trae Young went crazy in the second half of the year as far as putting up 40s, 50s. So I wouldn't be surprised if you had him as Rookie of the Year. For me, I got them either sharing co-Rookie of the Years, nice in and out, or giving it to Luka slightly because he captivated the league early on and had the league on notice long before Luka, to where the second half of the season you had to gear in on Luka. Whereas Trey Young wasn't one of those geared in type factors till second half of the season where he start making his push for Rookie of the Year. So Rookie of the Year, I got either Luka or Ty. Better player in the future, I got Luka Brasi, baby. Trey Young is going to be great, though. And I think it's a hell of a debate. That's why I want to put it on my channel before these other niggas get it. So you can see this gym 3, 4, 5 years later and be like, damn, they both end up being a shit. So overall, I got Luka for my reasons I stated. Defense, bigger body, post game, isolation game, little clutcher. Trey Young, shoot better, better ball handle, better playmaker. It's a hell of a debate. Who you got? Thoughts, comments. Subscribe to Dame's World. You know we do this eye test shit, nigga. Peace.